This is the BZ-166, a Tier 8 Chinese tech tree heavy. A vehicle that I notoriously hated grinding on World of Tanks due to not only the incredibly awkward armor profile, but super inaccurate gun. However, it seems that is not the case for World of Tanks Blitz, as this vehicle actually features quite a solid gun, especially in terms of aiming time, at only 3.5 seconds. While its dispersion at .362 isn't anything great, if you compare the characteristics of this gun to a classic IS-5, IS-6 style gun, it is multiple times better, and it features basically the same penetration and alpha, so I actually really think this is going to be a properly good tank. The most important thing, though, is to talk about the armor. You see, this is the fully upgraded turret, and it looks really cool, but I got bad news for you. The stock turret is better. You see, this is the BZ-166 with the top turret being aimed at by a WZ-120 with Kali, so about 310 mils of heat pen. And as we can see, the turret, even while using its entire 7 degrees of gun depression, well, it's pretty weak. You got a whole under part here, which is only about 220, so that means even AP shells from the majority of tier 8s are going to cut through that. But if you have to load gold, I mean, you can just cut through here. This is a 50-50 if you're a tier 9. In fact, if you have more pen, you're just going to butter right through. And on flat ground, I mean, yeah, it's not great. 280, if you turn the turret even slightly to the right or to the left, it gets even weaker. And that's forgetting it has 2 massive hatches, both very weak at around 70 mils, which are still very easy to hit, even when it's using gun depression. Let's compare that to the stock turret. And then you're gonna... yeah, I mean, is there anything else I need to say? I should point out this is the exact same heat shells. This turret hull down is 340 mils thick. It has no hatches. On flat ground, the turret is also slightly better, upwards of 310 rather than the 280. So yeah, the stock turret on this vehicle is flat better. It doesn't have the little weak underbelly parts that you can shoot. It has no hatch. I do not understand what goes through Wargaming's mind when they make this mistake on the Tier 8 on World of Tanks PC and then make the same mistake on Blitz. Now, the only real downside of running the stock turret is less HP. Your DPM should be exactly the same. Oh no, it is actually a little bit less. You can see it goes from about 1990 to 1930. So you are going to lose a bit of DPM. You are going to lose a bit of your stats here and there. Having a better turret does actually slightly increase all of your stats. But at the end of the day, would you rather bounce more shells, or would you rather have a slightly better amount of DPM by about maybe 50? Personally, I bounce those shells. It's super disappointing to me that Wargaming has still failed to give this tank the stock turret as the top turret, though. I think it's because the top turret looks cooler, but I don't know. I just don't understand how you can fail this hard on making the stock turret better. This tank is actually probably one of the best tier 8s to grind stock in the game, because the base turret is the best one, and when you get the vehicle, the gun is already equipped. It's only one gun option, so it's actually amazing. And that's the same case for the BZ-68 tier 9. The stock gun on that vehicle is a 130 millimeter. It's the same 130 the 10 gets. It's an incredible gun. So the whole line is actually probably one of the best lines to grind stock in the game. The problem is the tier 10 is not good, and it means that, well, you'll enjoy the tier 9, you'll enjoy the tier 8, but yeah, the tier 7 you're probably not gonna, or not, the tier 7's alright, but the tier 10 is what I meant to say, you're probably not gonna enjoy all too much. So, let's see, we can actually, what the heck is that, bro? What is that? That's actually just instant death. It's like an instant cup of ramen there just waiting to murder me. Alright, well, the Smasher's actually not looking this way, so we're going to get an easy shell into his vehicle for 415, and we're going to move on up. Now, this tank features 7 degrees of gun depression, which is alright. It's nothing amazing, but should be enough to get most situations done. Not seeing anybody else over here, but I'm going to be real. This is a loss. Like, 100% this is a loss. Their whole team lemming trained into one spot, and our team is just dying one at a time. Like, I don't even know what to do here. Like, what is this, bro? Wow. Well then, what a great team we had. I'm so happy. I'm going to have to help out the Bisante, or this is going to be an instant turbo L. Let's see. The VZ is rushing him. Can't hit him anywhere here as of now. Maybe if we move up, hoping we can maybe squeeze our vehicle in. And let's see. We got the 13 off to the side. And I'm gonna aim it on the 13 if I can, actually. I know we got bonked, but it's much more important to get... Oh boy, what are you running from, Bisante? Just kill it. It's a BZ-58, bruh. Alright, well, let's see if I can just squeeze my vehicle's booty back. There you go. Get a nice 399 damage shell out. Smasher bonks the... oh, wow. 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 The wow is the only word that my brain can formulate right now. This is an awful team. Holy bad. Alrighty, well, at least the gun on the vehicle does feel quite nice, I have to admit. The alpha and everything going for it feels quite capable. I was hoping we could kind of like scrape. Oh, we can. The Prog just drove full speed into me. Alright, well, that's not too bad at least. The 252 is still surprisingly alive. Let's just load an HE. There you go. Nice slap into the enemy BZ-58. And, well, let's see. Smasher just shot. Let's reload. Oh boy, I'm just going to back up at this point. Come on, push me, you stinker. Come on. Put on your speed boost. Yes, rush me. Let's see. And I'm not going to waste my shell on you. I'll wait for the Smasher. There you go. Easy shot into his tank. Alright, obviously we're dead at this point. AMX is going to roll off on my rear any second now, and there it is. But... oh well. I mean, that was actually the worst team I've ever seen in like, Tier 8 in a very long time. I don't know what they were doing. One thing I actually didn't look at, which I briefly wanted to check, was the armor on the hull. Oh, it's just... okay. It's really good. That's what I figured, but I just wanted to double check. So while hull down, this tank is incredible. Alright. I mean, we did alright. We did upwards of 2,600 damage in that game, which is pretty solid, and double on the team for the next highest. I mean... I don't know what our team is doing. Like, they just all YOLO'd into the enemy. Oh, that's a cool camo. I'm buying that right now. I can't wait to make a video on that. Oh, and we got the 12,000 gold just dropped into the drain right there. My bank account. Alright, let's do a second battle in the BZ-166. But I can already tell you from the first game, the tank feels very nice. It's flexible, it's got armor, and it's got mobility, a solid amount of gun depression, and the aiming time felt really, really good. When you pair all those things together, yeah, the BZ-166 seems to be a pretty proper vehicle. So I can't really complain about this tank at all. But we'll give it another shot, and we'll see if we can get a better team out. Well, here we are, second game. Another alright matchup, but as we saw the last battle, the matchup doesn't matter. It matters on how our team actually plays. Alrighty, let's head into the front. Now, one thing you might notice about this vehicle is it is incredibly long. Like, this thing is massive, bro. It's, as I always say, length and girth are very good, unless you're playing a tank game, because the bigger your tank is, the larger you are as a target for opponents to shoot you. So, yeah, that's how I always look at it. And that's definitely going to be the case for this tank. Because it's super duper long, people are definitely going to be able to get good views of your weak spots. I'm just going to load a heat shell into the VK. It was a pretty big low roll, but it's a guaranteed pen versus a 50-50, whether I'm going to hit the lower plate or not. I'd rather just have the guaranteed pen. Oh, we got the AMX. And the Action 10's just going right out. Can you please not block me? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I love teammates. Well, let's see if the VK pokes. There you go. And bonk. Nice. As we can see, the armor is very solid. As long as we keep it hull down, and we only show the turret and maybe the upper plate, we're going to get a lot of bounces in this tank. Alright, let's aim it on the SU. There you go. Yeah, the gun actually feels super duper nice on this tank. The accuracy is way, way better than what you would expect it to be for, you know, a Chinese heavy. You wouldn't expect it to be anything at all, to be real. Let's see, is that STA really going to poke me? Go ahead. 500 health lost on your vehicle. And now I just back up. And the best thing about the Chinese heavies is that they don't actually have bad reverse speed. Wargaming normally play... What? Bro, come... Really? Alright. Alright. That made literally 0 sense. Looks like we're not being blessed here with the team. We got the AMX off to the side. And we also got the VK. At least we got the clear on the VK, but I'm not going to get shot by the SU-130. Not today, at least. I'm going to turn my turret towards him. Keep turning that turret, keep turning that turret, and let's see. Bonk. Yeah, I really like this gun. I have to admit, like, this feels fantastic. It's so rare that Wargaming actually makes a vehicle feel nice, and they did a proper, well, that shell wouldn't hit anyway, but they did a proper job with the BZ-166. So, yeah, I got no complaints here. The stock turret actually gives it proper armor. I played with the top turret earlier, and it just didn't work. I got hatched like 3 times in a row in a face hug, and that was the end of my fun. But yeah, this turret, that won't be a problem at all. So 2,200 damage, nothing crazy, but yeah, the vehicle feels great. It's got super duper good armor. The turret's fantastic when you're running it properly. It's got great pen. DPM's all right. The aiming time is really, really good. And its mobility is also pretty solid. Having a top speed of 40, its power to weight, while not great, it's good enough to get the job done. This might be the best of the whole line. I think the BZ-68 is kind of busted. Although, you know what, I haven't even tried. I think this gun is better for the BZ-168, or the 68, but I just haven't tried it. But I think, yeah, the tier 9 and 8 are definitely the stars of the line. Unfortunately, the tier 10 is the bad boy. It's just not very good. It needs either more AP pen or something just to give it a little bit more oomph. But, oh well. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.